Welcome back to another week of the Rev MD podcast. I'm excited to talk to you guys about a big topic that I'm hoping everybody walks away with a couple tips that they can help implement so that you can help your billers. So this week's topic is help us help you. And we're really going to talk about some key strategies for you to truly help your billing team be successful. Make sure that they have what they need in order to bill your claims and make sure that you're getting the revenue that you deserve. So as you guys know, billing takes a village. It's sort of like parenting and requires immense coordination and communication between many different parts of your office. And that's what we're going to go over. We're going to talk about kind of your current staff, what roles they play in the billing process, how each of their parts plays an important role in making sure that your billers are successful, that your billing process is efficient, because at the end of the day, we all want to make sure that you guys are getting the revenue you deserve. So if you guys aren't aware, we have a medical billing company. It's called National Revenue Consulting. And if you haven't heard about us, please head over to our website, nationalrevenueconsulting.com. We are physician-owned, and probably our known thing that makes us different is that we truly like to be operational partners with our practices. We like to understand what's going on with their practice, provide them the data that not only shows that the billing process is going well, but what other operational issues are you having to manage, and what can we use your revenue data, your billing data to help solve for that? So whether that's trying to understand, are you seeing enough new patients? How are your reimbursements? Do you need to renegotiate contracts? All of those things. Now, the important part about this is it does take a village. We really look to partner with our clients, our practices, make sure that they have what they need to be successful, that they know what to do to be successful, and that we become partners in making a really efficient billing process to grow their revenue. So if you're looking for a new billing company, certainly reach out. We are getting busy for this year and take on a limited number of clients per month. So if you are interested, reach out and we can schedule some time to go over what's causing you guys pain, what's issues in your current billing process, and see if we can provide a better service. All right, let's get started with our topic this week. So first, we're going to go over some of those important roles in your office, right? I think everybody understands, all the different roles in an office, but how do they really impact your billing process? And then last, we'll go over 5 key strategies that your office really has to do in order for your billing team to be successful. And really, at the end of the day, that makes your practice successful. So number 1 is your front office staff. This is a key role in the billing process, right? They register patients, they gather insurance information, they're oftentimes checking insurance eligibility, they're interfacing with patients for payment. So if your front office is struggling with some of these key areas, it's important that we get an opportunity to train them on each of the processes, right? Why are they doing this? Why is it important? How can we be successful? How do we measure success? And actually, one of our practices suggested that we do an office staff training video. And so we are going to do that here in the next few months. I will record it. It will be part of our billing mastermind class that we do once a month. That is something that comes up here on about 10 days, February 19th. And that's something that if you're interested, we basically once a month, we get on a Zoom, we chat about, the topic of the day. Last time we did claims process, just going over the general claims process and key areas that you may be struggling with in each of those parts so that you can have that efficient billing process. So again, we meet once a month, we go over different topics with the billing process, and one of those is going to be on training your front office staff. So it'll be a recording. We can send it out to your front office staff. They can use it to help train each other, make sure that their process is super efficient. So again, front office staff, super important, right? They touch many different parts of your billing process. And so making sure that they understand how to do that is so important. So if you are looking to sign up for our billing mastermind, go to nationalrevenueconsulting.com and click on billing education to sign up. Only those registered will be able able to get the recorded video. So head on over there and sign up. And again, we'll do that class here in a couple months. The one we do on the 19th has to do with ICD-10 coding and just general tips around coding. So head on over, sign up, and we hope to see you in 2 weeks. All right. The next role, right, is the physician, right? All of us recognize that we play an important part. We see the patients. We're documenting appropriately, hopefully, so that you can qualify for the CPT codes that you're dropping. We've all learned that if we didn't document it, it didn't get done. And so it's really important that, you know your E&M coding, you know what it takes to document for the different levels, because again, you may have seen the complicated patient. It may have qualified for a level 4 exam, but if you're not documenting appropriately, that's what's going to get audited, not the actual visit and face-to-face time that you had with your patient. And so documenting appropriately is extremely important. Other duties of your office staff, including kind of some admin stuff, right? Sending paper EOBs, paper checks, or insurance documents received in the mail. All of that has to get back to your billing team and has to get back to your billing team timely. That's what allows the team to stay on top of your accounts receivable, deal with denials, deal with any credentialing issues that may have come in the mail that you now have to recognize that, hey, we had denials and now we have to recognize why. And then you can find out, oh, shoot, we're not actually credentialed with that payer or that plan, and or that new provider wasn't credentialed. And so if all of that paperwork is getting managed timely, then you're catching those things and not seeing patients for free, for example. Now, if you are receiving a lot of paper checks, if you are receiving a lot of paper EOBs, that's the list that your office staff can use to sign up for the ERAs, can sign up for the EFTs. And so if all of those words are new to you, I will explain, paper EOBs, right? These are what come in the mail that allow you to understand what was paid by the insurance company, how much is the patient responsible for, was there a denial, what is the denial code? And so those EOBs can come in the mail, right? And those are the EOBs, or they can come as electronic remittance advice, ERAs, and those typically come electronically into your practice management software that is hopefully interfaced to your electronic medical record. So again, you want those to be coming over electronically into your system. You want less paper in general, right? None of us really like paper at this day and age. So you want to decrease the paper, decrease the paper checks, those little credit cards you get in the mail, all of those things. Try and sign up for as much electronic deposits as you can. Direct deposits are key. Those just make everything so much smoother in the billing process. So if you have a lot of paper checks, you have a lot of credit card that are coming in the mail in order to be paid by the insurance companies, make a list of who those payers are and have your staff start working on enrolling for the ERAs, enrolling for direct deposits or EFTs. And that way you just decrease that. Now, in the meantime, you got to get all those paper copies, the EOBs, the checks, the credit cards, all of those things have to get to your billers because you have to post payments. Because you may be receiving money, but if you're not documenting that you're receiving that money in your practice management software, that is one of the reasons why your accounts receivable can look bad, right? You've actually received the money, but your accounts receivable looks terrible because it hasn't been posted yet. And that can be the same situation with patient payments, right? If patient payments aren't posted into the EMR or the practice management software, I should say, then your patient AR, your patient's account receivable can look bad, where in reality, you've received the money. And that just keeps your accounts clean. And so again, getting all of that paperwork to your billers so that they can post those payments is absolutely critical. All right. So now that we've talked about a couple key roles, how we all play different parts in the billing process, we're going to go over 5 key areas your office staff must be doing to keep your billers happy and allowing them to do their job. Number 1, most important thing you can do for your billing team is to have key payer portals that you utilize and that you have admin usernames and passwords for. Now, this doesn't mean you have to share those usernames and passwords with your billers. It just means that you have a designated person, hopefully actually more than one person in case someone leaves, that has all of the list of the payer portals that you use. It has your usernames and passwords. Someone is signing in somewhat regularly in the office. Typically that's a front office staff, maybe checking eligibility or dealing with prior auths or, verifications of some sort if your PM software doesn't do that for you. But someone has a list of Availity passwords, United Healthcare, your Health One ID, your Medicare IDs, all of those things, so that when you do need to onboard a new staff member or you do need to change billers, you have that full list. You can say, okay, here's the 15 portals I use. And yes, unfortunately, it can be that many portals. These are all the portals I have, and that you have admin access to them, so that when you need to transition a team or a member or bring on a new member, you can easily get them set up with their own usernames and passwords and get those approved. And some of the payer portals, the admin needs to actually add the user to their account. And in other cases, the billing team may need to request access. And so you're then going to have to look for those emails and actually approve access. This is very critical. This is what allows your team to be successful. This is what allows your team, your billing team, that is, to go and find out, were there issues with the claim? Sometimes resubmitting online. Just depends on the payer, but these are kind of the keys to the kingdom. So very important to have these organized, very important to have these in one spot, very important to have, typically the owner of the practice needs to be the admin, and hopefully, maybe an office manager or somebody else who also has that admin role. Again, more than one person, have those safe and secure, have them organized, and that's just going to be a key thing if you do need to ever make a change. The next critical thing you can do for your billers is obviously address any pending charts. This is fairly obvious, right? You got to sign out the charts, drop the codes, then the billers can drop the claims. So making sure that you're doing this timely, work with your billers on when that process is. Is that within 24 hours? Is that by the end of the week? And making sure that all of the doctors and physicians and providers, depending on how you're staffed, all have that done within that time frame. So if you say, okay, everybody's going to do that within 24 hours, then your billers are looking to have those complete in 24 hours, and they're not having to circle back and manage open claims from previous days. So again, having a deadline, talking with your billers, being clear on when that expectation is so that they know when to look for those closed charts. They can start sending out those claims, because again, the sooner they get those claims out, the sooner claims are adjudicated, they can manage the AR. Doing that in big clumps just makes it hard for your billers to manage the process, and also just makes it hard to truly manage your revenue. Number 3, I kind of touched on this earlier, but any paperwork, those paper EOBs, paper checks, any of those credit cards, all of those need to be getting to your billers at a minimum weekly. If you can, even better if that's once or twice a week, especially if you're a big practice. And again, if you are getting a huge list of paper documents to your office, whether that's EOBs or checks, make a list of who those payers are and have your office start working on getting those transitioned to ERAs. Those are those electronic remittance advice that go through the PM software, so that your billers can post those much faster, much easier, or get those direct deposits set up. Number 4, we really need to make sure that the office is understanding who is in network and out of network, so that they are not scheduling patients that aren't payers that you accept or aren't payers that you're in network with. And especially if you're not, dealing with out of network billing, then you're oftentimes just seeing these patients for free. So you've got to have a really solid process in place, policy that talks about what payers you're in network with, especially if you're not in network with a large number of them. If you're only in network with a subset of them, then having a policy and procedure that your front staff know, okay, who am I in network with? Who am I going to accept, and only scheduling those patients? Doing that insurance eligibility verification as you schedule those patients, double checking their benefits, double checking you're credentialed, so that everybody is on the same page when they come in to see you. You're not seeing patients for free. And so please make sure that your office knows who you're credentialed with, has a front office policy, and how to manage these conversations. And last but not least, patient statements. The other thing that's really important to coordinate with your billing team is how and when you want patient statements to go out, how many patient statements you want to get, how many patient statements you will give before maybe you need to send a soft collection letter, or what you're going to do with patients. Are you going to send them to collections? Are you not going to send them to collections? And making sure that that is all buttoned up as you onboard with a new billing team. It's part of our onboarding packet so that we really understand what your process is and how you manage patient payments. The other thing is really understanding, are there going to be times where you do a small balance write-off? When is that? How do you manage if you've got a list of patients with patient AR that's over 120 days? Are we getting reports to the front office so that they can start calling those patients? Are they flagging those patients in the chart so that when they come into the office, they're collecting those balances? All of those things are really important for your front office staff to really understand, for your billers to understand. And of course, you know me, have a policy around so that you guys can all be on the same page. So again, these are just some 5 key areas that we've seen practices struggle with, and buttoning up these processes are going to make your billers more successful. They're going to make your practice have revenue growth and really just all around be a solid process for everyone. And again, we as a billing team want to help our practices, and these are just some strategies to, again, help us help you. So again, if you are looking for a new billing team, reach out, info@nationalrevenueconsulting.com. And again, if you're looking to join our billing mastermind, we would love to see you there on February 19th. So please head over to our website, again, nationalrevenueconsulting.com, and sign up under billing education. And again, we will be sending those recorded educations out. So look forward to seeing you guys, and we will be doing that front office staff training here in the next few months. And again, we do also have those front office staff pamphlets that you can hand out to patients so that they understand their part in the patient payment policy area. So again, lots of good stuff on that website. Head on over. If you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great weekend.